Habari gani, karibuni, Princifo. And Toko, my brother Toko. Am I saying Toko or Thoko?
It's Toko.
Toko, my brother Toko from Malawi, my brother Prince Ifo from Nigeria. It's always nice to be with my family, my African family, when we get together. So I will let my brother Prince Ifo, who is the founder and the head of the Young African Leaders Forum, take it from here, please, brother. And you can
Thank
introduce
you.
yourself.
Thank you so much, Sister Nduku. My name is Prince Ifo, and I am the president of the Young African Leaders Forum, an organization that is committed to empowering young Africans and preparing them as radical leaders to build a better Africa, the Africa we really want as a continent. And so I'm glad to be here. And today we want to just take some time to do some very warm invitation to all members of Africa and African diaspora, and also everybody that is just connected to the African roots. I mean, you look through your genealogy, you see that you are an African, you have the African ancestry, you are African, any way connected to Africa. This is an invitation to you and to all members and lovers of Africa. We have something we call the Kwanzaa Get-Together that will be holding on Thursday, December 21st by 14 p.m. GMT. And this is our special invitation to you. Let me speak about the very basics why this event was thought up in the first place. If you see, I'm wearing my African attire, and that's because it's about celebrating African roots and celebrating our ancestry. So, celebrating who we are as Africans in the face of the 21st century progressions and the rest of them. It will be very important that as Africans we do not lose the basis of our identity, who we are as Africans. And so we thought about it in the Young African Leaders Forum that this would be a perfect way to wrap up 2023, where we'll have to come together to speak and discuss and to remind ourselves of the 7 basic principles of Kwanzaa, and how we can continue to uphold these principles even in the 21st century, and also pass these principles to people that are going to be coming after us, not just ending it with us, but also moving into people that are going to be coming up after us. I have my brother here, Toko, and who would be the moderator, the master of ceremony. It's going to be a get together, not a formal event. So it's going to be where we'll have lots of African food, we'll have music, we'll have some dance, we'll have some cultural displays of African rich identity. And so we want you to come and be a part of that festival. It's going to be something that you would enjoy. You would also be very happy to meet and connect with different Africans in the diaspora, African Americans, and everybody that is connected to the African descent. And so Toko will be the master of ceremony. Before I progress, maybe I should allow my brother Toko to just say 1 or 2 things about the event and how he is hoping to coordinate and plan the progressions. Toko, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, thank you, Prince. It's funny how I got to know of Kwanzaa. The first time I get to hear of that name was in the Everybody Hates Chris comedy. You know, the family actually the family failed to celebrate Christmas. Like instead of celebrating Christmas, let's celebrate Kwanzaa. So when I got the invitation, like I should be the master of ceremony. Like, oh, does this thing really exist? You get? So it's kind of a thing that I'm coming here to understand the basics. You know, is Kwanzaa Christmas? Is it a substitute for Christmas? Because basically they celebrated that because they couldn't celebrate Christmas in that comedy. So this event, among other things, will settle those misconceptions. What really is Kwanzaa and what is Christmas? Are they substitute? Among other things. But most importantly, we are going back to the fact of culture, African culture. We are talking about African heritage. We are talking of arts. Now we are going back to the foundation, the very facts that defines us as Africans. We want to get to those. So there are those principles who get to explore as expressed by Prince. So get down to knowing each of the principle, foundational principle that underlies the African culture, the African community, aspects of food, dressing, the dance. You know, we need to hone it so good because Africa is unique. So this assembly brings together all those people who are here in Africa, those in the diaspora, as expressed even those with the looting, who have a root and interest in Africa, to get to understand what is it really that defines us Africa. So generally, I'm excited about this event, and I plead with all of you, please make a point, make a date. It's gonna be an amazing moment for us to get down to the understanding of the basics that defines our culture, our heritage, and of course our arts. Thank you, Prince.
Thank you so much, my brother Toko. So I think I should explain about some of the people who would be speaking in this event. But before I
Yes.
proceed, we would have some very excellent dance and music performance by our brothers, the Urban Shaman. I greet them from here, brothers. We greet you from here, and they will be having a very excellent performance on Thursday, December 21st. We would also have a very wonderful spoken word that would be done by one of us, a member of the Young African Leaders Forum and an ambassador, Ambassador Aliyu Suleiman. Is a very wonderful brother and comrade of mine, and he'll be giving us some very powerful spoken word to thrill us about who we are as Africans. Then we'll move on to speakings. We have major speakers, let me not say speakers, but discussants who will be discussing these values. And graciously, we have one of them in our midst, and that's Sister Nduku. Sister Nduku will be speaking about the principles of Kwanzaa. Sister Nduku, would you like to share with us some of the things you just tried to throw light on during the
Yeah.
get together on Thursday?
Yeah. Thank you, brother Ifo. So, how this came about is we members of Jumuiya Nguzo Saba, which is a community that we are building. We're working on a collaboration that we have with the Young African Leaders Forum, just as we all connect and try to connect the silos that we've been in, so that we can operate more as a united front. And we are Jumuiya ya Nguzo Saba, which is a Kiswahili and in English translated means the community of the seven principles. So those seven principles are taken from Kwanzaa. Yes, Karenga, Maulana Karenga did come up with Kwanzaa, and he visited Africa and more so East Africa, where Kiswahili is mostly spoken. Where he learned about these principles that I myself growing up in Kenya, I understood. But when I first came here and I saw Kwanzaa, I pushed against it, because first of all, that word Kwanzaa, the way it's spelled, I was one of those Africans who was like, first of all, you're spelling it wrong. Kwanzaa is not written with two A's, it's written with one A. So that was my first approach with Kwanzaa, judging it and not getting it, and being a very mentally colonized African, right? And then I started encountering it more. And a couple of years, I believe, maybe 1 year ago, is when I seriously started sitting down to look at this and how it can benefit the African community, the global African community. And those principles, I understood then that if we all live by them daily, not just during the celebration of Kwanzaa, which starts on the 26th of December, all the way to the 1st of January, not just during that time, but throughout our whole year, throughout our life, if we live by the principles. And I'm just quickly going to say what the principles are, and if I forget them, because I'm not looking at them. Umoja, which is unity. Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. Ujima, which is collective work. Ujamaa, which is collective economics, which means you bring your monies in this capitalist world, you bring your monies together and you build the African community. And then we have Nia, which is a purpose. We all need to have a purpose. What is our purpose? To heal our African community and build our economy, build our political strength and political independence. And then you have Kuumba, which is creativity. And we know we are creative people, we African people, our music, our writing, everything that our inventions, right? We are a creative people, and that's what we are celebrating on that day. For us, for those of you who follow me on Clubhouse, we have a Kwanzaa community there too. We're going to be announcing some books that a few of us are writing. That is one of the things that we're doing. We're bringing back reading, we're bringing back writing, we're bringing back recording in Africa, of our culture, so that we do not lose it or risk losing it like we have done before. And then at the end is Imani, and you close Kwanzaa with faith, right? The faith that we can do all these things that we've been talking about from the 26th to the fast. We have to have faith as Black people. We have to have faith as melanated Africans. I said I was going to walk away from the word Black. As melanated Africans, we need to have faith that we can do these things, because without faith, we have no hope. Without hope, we cannot get up every morning as we struggle. And you all know it's tough to do what is necessary. So yes, that is me. And you'll learn more on Thursday about my relationship with Kwanzaa. Brother Ifo.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sister Nduku. I mean, Imani is one principle that I really strongly embrace. Yeah, and that's the fact that you can do all these things, that these things can really happen. And I'm very delighted that we'll be learning together on Thursday, discussing these principles and how we can continue to build our lives around these principles, even as we come into 2024 and beyond. Many African young people do not know these principles. And some of us unconsciously, even before I got to hear about the principles of Kwanzaa, I already was unconsciously living by most of them. So I didn't know that there were such principles as that, but I got to know that, whoa, I mean, I'm a person of Imani, and this is what it is. And so, I mean, yeah, so, and I thought to myself that, okay, you really are a person of African roots, because these principles are foundational and you've been doing very well to execute them. So it's a very wonderful time that we'll be having on Thursday. We'll be having some display of rich African food. We'll be having music, performance. We'll be having many things that we want you to be part of. Yeah, so on the day, we'll be live streaming on different platforms. We'll be live streaming here on Kumbukeni. We'll be live streaming on our Facebook page, Young African Leaders Forum. The link is dropped there, and it's Young African Leaders Forum on Facebook. And there will be also live streaming on what's it called? Our brother's
The
page,
Urban
and that's
Shaman's YouTube.
Urban Shaman's YouTube page. Yeah, it's going to be really, really beautiful. It's going to be an exciting time. It's not a conference. It's not a conference. It's just a get together. We'll party, we'll dance. We'll celebrate the year in a very good way. And I'm sure Toko is a very strong Pan-African when it comes to organizing this kind of matters. And I know he will give us a very good mastery of ceremony, so that we could enjoy the event and have that collaboration and beautiful portray of Africa's culture, have it in a very wonderful manner. Yeah, so that's all from us. I don't know if you want to add any other things, Sister Duku, Brother Toko, any other thing that you want our prospective invitees to learn about and be a part of.
I want to say to everyone, thank you for doing this. But for me, the greatest joy of this is that the diaspora is being connected to the continent. We are finally closing that gap. We are one people, no matter where you are as an African. And for those of you who joined us on Sunday, Brother Adesoji explained very well what Nkrumah said, right? That Africa is in you. Right? So if I get in the plane and travel to Brazil, Africa is in me because I'm an African. If I get in the plane and travel to France, no matter how much I'm hanging around Wazungus, I am still African. Africa is in me. If you are taken from our motherland by the invaders of our motherland and forced to go to other lands to be enslaved, and you have generations of people, those generations will always have Africa from that African blood. And so for me, the greatest joy is that those generations are being connected with the motherland and with their brothers and sisters from the motherland. So I'm very, very happy about this, and I look forward to the conversation on Thursday.
Yes, thank you so much, Sister Nduku. Before we go, I think I should also talk about other speakers. We have Dr. Lashanta Williams, who is coming from the US. She's currently Illinois, Chicago, and she'll be
She's
part
a
of
she's
this.
a she's a member of Jumuiya Nguzo Saba. Yes.
Yeah, and so and she'll be also part of the discussants. And we have Ambassador Salah Hamad from the African Union. Yeah, he's also part of the discussant and would be very glad to discuss with our Africans and as we continue to work together, Africans in Africa and Africans in the diaspora. But this will be a very good time to come together. It's a get together, so come together with us and let's discuss these principles and discuss our partnerships for 2024 and beyond. We'll look forward to seeing everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you. Register, make up your mind to attend, and be very quick and be very sure to make sure that you are part of this wonderful event. Thank you.
Before our brother Toko closes for us, since he's going to be mastering this whole thing, I was going to ask you quickly: do you want people to continue registering on your link that you had? Because I know YALF is trying to grow your youth community. So would you like people to still continue registering there?
Yes,
Sharing
please.
this, yeah.
We want that. Yeah. So let me share it on the chat session. So it's we want people to still keep registering because we would close up registration on Wednesday night, which is the day before. But another bulk of email will go out very soon. So and that to people who register.
And we welcome you all to ask any questions you may have in the chat. Let me grab that and put it in the chat. All right, Brother Togo, it's all yours.
All right, thank you. I just want to add emphasis to say the choice of our speakers is to the end that we should achieve. We should have a reflection of ideas. So we are having those from our mother institution, the African Union. We are having those in the academia, and of course from across the sectors, so that we should have a collective understanding of what it is indeed to be an African, what it is to celebrate our culture, what it is to reinforce our heritage, and more so, the idea of bringing this about is to achieve coordination and harmonization of what the identity of Africa. So we are going back to the core, we are going back to the very foundational aspects. So it is a need for all of us to come by, a need for all of us to enjoin together to achieve this harmonization. It's the soul of Africa at the end of the day, and we need to print that in very loudest sense. So you are always welcome to ask questions from today through Wednesday night, using our links as they will be shared through our platforms. And more so, you are welcome to the event. It's going to be an amazing moment to interact, an amazing moment to learn, and to, of course, to gain insights. So it's already highlighted as Prince Ifo has put across, and of course, Sister Nduku has shared. So mine is an expectation that this Thursday, if it were in my native language, I would have said Moto Nandi.
But guess what?
You, sir.
Guess what? In the spirit of Kujichagulia, go ahead and say it.
Yes, of course. So Moto Nandi. Pachema apa. That's what we said, Chichewa. Thank you.
Asante sana. All right, brothers, I think we're done.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Have a good day, everyone, and a good week. Be safe out there and stay African, please. Stay African always. All right, kwaherini.
Thank you.